Seventh episode begins as Dexter has Levi Reed's body in his car and is on the way to dump it in the swamp, but is stopped by a police officer. The squad are treating the area as a crime scene, so he pretends to be there as part of forensics. When he arrives, he finds out they've discovered the arm of Ferrer, who he killed a few weeks ago. He's also told to get fingerprints, but he sneakily throws the remaining limb to the alligators and pretends he was attacked. As a last resort, he dumps Levi Reed's body in a dumpster the next day. Meanwhile, Captain Spencer's son, Nicky, is still being held hostage by the serial killer. He still makes good attempts to escape. At home, Deb tries to get Dexter to pay more attention to Sophia, who's now become his girlfriend. When she's gone, he catches Harry up to the night's events. Later, Dexter tries to leave for work. Sophia turns up and tells him off for not responding to her messages. When she finds a condom wrapper on the floor, she thinks he's been cheating on her. At school, Deb tries to comfort Sophia and defend her brother, but it ends badly when Sophia storms off in anger. When Dexter arrives at work, he runs into Officer Sanders, who asks him to keep their bump-in at the gay bar a secret from their colleagues. Meanwhile, LaGuerta and Harry are trying to convince Spencer that the recent killings are all from the same killer. But he doesn't believe they're connected, which leaves LaGuerta feeling irritated that she's not being listened to. In another flashback sequence, Harry and Laura have a disagreement over her continuing to act as an informant. She's feeling anxious that it's been over a year and worries something will happen to her soon. When Harry gets home to his wife Doris and baby Deborah, he clears the air with her, promising he'll be there for his family. In present day, Dexter is searching for new dumping grounds for his victims, since the swamp is no longer an option. On his way to the records room, Angel points out to him that the ring on the arm looks an awful lot like the one Ferrer wore. He wants to dig deeper, but Dexter convinces him to focus on Nicky's kidnapping instead. In Nicky's cell, he manages to stab his kidnapper using a piece of wire. But ultimately, he can't overpower the larger man and his finger gets cut off. Elsewhere, Harry and LaGuerta are on their way to speak to someone in possession of a stolen Pontiac they've been searching for. It belongs to a family who bought it secondhand for their daughter. They get the keys and take the car away, but don't get much information about who actually sold the car to the family. While Dexter is ruminating on ideas to hide bodies, he's visited by the apparitions of Ed Gein, David Berkowitz, and John Wayne Gacy, who all share their own disturbing experiences and techniques. At school, Deb is busted by Tiffany for wrecking her car. Evidently, Sophia sold her out. When the two girls get into a fight, Deb punches Tiffany in the face and gets sent to the principal's office. Back at work, Dex is trying to get ideas from the rest of the team about body burial. Their conversation is ended by Harry coming into the room, then again when the finger of Spencer's son is delivered to the station. Spencer is devastated, and it's confirmed that all the cases are now connected. Thankfully, there's a tiny speck of blood on the box, so they get to work in trying to sample it. In a flashback, Laura gets forcibly taken away from her house by the gang she's been informing on. She's taken to the house of the big boss, who tells her that there's a big drop the following week, and he wants her to be there. When re-examining the finger, Dexter finds a hesitation cut, which didn't appear on any of the other previous fingers. Harry later gets home and finds out Deb got cut from the volleyball team and suspended from school. He points out that a scholarship was the only way she could get into college, but she doesn't seem to care. He also tries to ground her, but she leaves anyway. Here's where things get interesting. Dexter returns to work and bumps into Captain Spencer, who tells him the blood sample is the same as Nicky's. Dexter notes how the killer could just have the same blood type, and that the hesitation cut could imply that it is someone who feels a connection to him. What's more, he spots a bloody bandage on Spencer's arm, which he quickly brushes off as an accident he had while trying to fix the air conditioning in his apartment. However, he then tells Dexter to go directly to him if he has any more leads. Could Spencer be the one who kidnapped his own son? Is he the serial killer who murdered the previous victims? Just to add to the thought, Spencer is then seen buying kids' meals at the supermarket, the same meals Nicky was being given in his cell.